Hi, just wanted to share about my YouTube and Google education for bleaching long, dark Asian hair. This is virgin hair. I probably haven't done anything with it since 2013, so that's 7 years. And I thought I would share about my squeeze bottle application method. I'm going to try it out for the first time, as well as bleaching my hair for the first time. And I have a little checklist, so I thought I'd just hop on and document this process. So first, this is the lightener that I got. And let's see, it's kind of hard to see that. There's a glare on it. Okay. So this is the Schwarzkopf Blonde Me, and it's supposed to have 9 levels of lift. So it's kind of this blue powder. Okay. All right, I'm gonna put things here as I go, and then I also got the developer. So this is the one that goes with it. And as you can see, I've labeled things because I have also bowls and brushes, and I wanted to kind of keep track. So this was the 20 volume. I also did that because I didn't want to grab the wrong one. I heard that 30 volume was okay on my scalp, but 20 volume or 30 volume is not okay on the scalp, and 20 volume is okay. And this is the 30 volume because I have such dark hair. I figured I would need this. Okay, so that's those two. And then you're gonna need some type of measuring device. So this is the scoop that came inside the Blonde Me lightener. And this is just like a lid from some ice cream thing. I thought I would keep dry things dry, like the powder. And then for the developer, this is like a little mini measuring, kind of sounds like a little shot glass, but it happens to be volume-wise the same amount as the scoop. So this was about 45, I guess, milliliters or grams, and this was about the same. So, okay, what's next? And then I have a scale for also measuring. This one I just had in my kitchen. It's the Ozeri one. It's a food scale. Love it. Okay, put that back. And then some kind of hair dye kit. I got mine on Amazon, and of course you don't need this exact one, but since I had nothing, this was a nice way to start. And here, let's see, pull out everything that's inside. So this is a little packing list. So it has a cape. I would say the cape is probably optional. But it is nice to have. So you can just have a bleach day outfit, like clothes that you don't mind getting dirty. I went through, I have a box of things that I'm going to donate, and this is what was in it. I found like some like leggings I'm never going to wear. These are like nude leggings, so when I wear them, it doesn't look like I'm wearing any pants. And then this is like a t-shirt. It actually has like all these holes in it, but that's the style. And then I was gonna hop in the shower this morning, but I realized I'm gonna be rinsing my hair a lot today. So I just have a bikini. I'm gonna put that. And then I think when you're doing your hair, you know, be in and out a lot. You don't want to pull anything over your head. So I found this. It's like a little romper, and it's long sleeves, and it's like button up, which is really the reason that I dug it out of the giveaway box or donation box. So let's see. Oh, I was going to finish showing you what's inside. And then, oh, there's this apron. This is an optional item as well, but I will say I did find it really handy. I'm kind of like wearing it, but I'll like put it on later. I did like wearing it because when I was doing some strand tests, then I didn't have to change out of that, but that's completely optional. Okay. Also in this kit were these ear covers, and I loved the idea of them. Let's see, I think they go on like this. But to be completely honest, once I started moving around and doing things, they completely fell off. So they were not that helpful. And then the kit actually came with these gloves, a pair of black gloves. And when I read the reviews, it said that the gloves were quite large. But as you can see, when I put them on, they're actually like pretty fitted. So before I knew that, and I just had seen the reviews that they were going to be large, I didn't want them. I was imagining those like really big, almost like gardening style gloves. They're so big you can't do anything. And I needed dexterity. So I looked up gloves and I read that nitrile gloves were good, especially if you're like allergic to latex, which I'm not, but I think I just wanted a nice pair of gloves. Nitrile also is really good when working with chemicals. So these are a little bit looser, but they're really thin. And I ended up, these are a medium. So it's funny, I think the large that came with the package is actually smaller than these mediums that I got at Sally's. So far, most of this other stuff has come from Amazon. Okay, what else? Oh, brushes. Let me show you the brushes that came with this kit. So it came with these two brushes, kind of a classic brush with kind of a little tail at the end. And then I think they call this an emperor brush. And it's got this kind of little brush thing. So I actually think that if you're going to splurge, like what are the important things in this kit? The important things in this kit are probably really the brushes and the gloves and having like something that's like a little tail comb. And then let's see. This kit also comes with a little mixing bowl. This one's a little bit translucent with, you can't see but probably, but there's little measurements inside. And that's actually why I got it. But honestly, you can use any just non-metal bowl because apparently the bleach will react with metal. So, but I pretty much got this kit because it had this bowl. I really wanted it for my set. So, yep. But those are pretty much like I said, the most important things in here are having a bowl that can be any bowl, having brushes, and you're going to be doing this like brushing motion in your hair for me, it's probably going to be hours. So there's this company, I think they're called Framer. I'm not sure how it's pronounced. Anyways, they sell these brushes. So this set I got on Amazon, and it came with the extra wide. I believe this is like a classic brush. And then this one was like the little, like, I guess, pintail. So I'm actually really glad to have the extra set of brushes. So, okay, let's see what else is really important. I also got hair clips, and I think really good hair clips are worth the splurge. So I had a ton of like little elastic hair ties, but I was just trying to imagine myself tying my hair, just like dragging long hair through hair ties, and it seemed pretty awful. So I found these on Amazon. These are like nicer ones that I think you could see them using sometimes at the salon. So I got a set of these, and they're awesome. And then I just found every other like clippy thing I had. I had these. Let's see what else. this one. It's a little container that I'm keeping these things in, but I have these tiny, tiny little ones. They're really, really small. I'm going to use those for something later, so those are good to have on hand. Let's see what else is on the list. Oh, let me show you my shower cap. So I have like one that, like kind of this like more sturdy, reusable one. And then these are like a bunch of disposable ones. And these are just from basically, when I used to travel, and they'd always be in like a little toiletry kit from the hotels. So if you still have some of those around, dig them out. They're pretty helpful. Just so happens that somebody stayed at my place one time. It was like some family, and look, they bought this like heavy duty kind of like saran wrap. So this is going to come handy. Oh, and if you don't have a shower cap, you can just use plastic bags. So just pay attention to the plastic bags. Don't have a bunch of like coloring on them, because that could bleed. Like the bleach could cause that coloring, I think, to bleed. Okay, so let's see what else. Some old towels. I have like just an assortment of random towels, but like some of them have already been accidentally bleached, so that makes it perfect for this. I think I had guests one time, stayed long term, and they accidentally bleached some of my towels. So let's see what else on the list. Okay, a wide tooth comb. This is just the one I had. I don't know if it's supposed to be wider than this or not, but it's the one I have. And then a brush to brush your hair. So I have a boar bristle one, and then this other one. So this is a good time to show you the before of my hair. So this is pretty much the texture of my hair now. On a scale like of 1 to 10 of health, like 1 being totally destroyed and 10 being like the healthiest ever. I guess if I said that when I was a kid, that was like a 10. Then I think my hair right now is probably like an 7, 8. Let's say 8, because I did use Brad Mondo's hair cutting tutorial, and I cut off the ends last week, about 4 or 5 inches. So, okay, but those are the combs, and I also happen to have just like this tiny one. I'm sure this is also from some hotel toiletry kit. Oh, sorry about that. Let me turn that off. It's telling me to go work out soon. So I'm gonna finish going through this and then go do that. And then, all right, went through the wide tooth comb. Check. I also got a mirror, and you have to be able to see the back of your head. So I drug in every mirror I could find in the house, and I don't have like a 3-way. So this was a mirror from my entry hall by the door, drug that in here. And then I had this other one that's underneath the apron right now, but that one was like from just like a cheap one from like IKEA. So I think between all of these, hopefully I can see what's going on. All right. And then let's see what's next. Some like just things to clean up with, paper towels, just like old rags. I brought in a chair so I could sit down, because it's going to take me hours, this method. And that chair is upholstered, so I have an old sheet draped on there. And then pretty much, you want to either want to cover anything that you don't want to get bleached. So that's why I decided to just do all of this in the bathroom. A lot of people have like nice little vanity setups in their bedrooms, but this was best for me. So let's see, what's next? A timer. Okay, I consider this a nice splurge item. So the tint brushes and the hair clips, and then if you're gonna like splurge on one more thing that's a little nicer, this is like an event timer. And so I put on here, for example, like 1 hour, 45 minutes, 30 minutes, 20 minutes. And then the 1 hour is just like the max that you can have, should have bleach on your hair. 45 was kind of the recommended time, like 20 to 45 minutes. And then 30 roots. I want to know when I hit that point, because if I go in and do the lengths first and then do the roots second, I wanted to see if I could get all of the lengths done by 30 minutes. And honestly, it was a real struggle for me. I did like a test run. That's how I came up with the little squeeze bottle method. And I'm also going to do my hair section by section. So I'll go through that in a little bit. But let me put down the timer. And that's nice because then I can have that as like a kitchen timer too. So let's see. Okay, you're gonna need foil. Some people might consider optional, but for long hair, I think for it to be even, I really think I'm gonna need this. So here, I'm gonna show you again how much hair I have. I'm gonna comb it all. I'm still in my PJs, but that's okay. So I'm gonna get a view there of my hair. Okay, because it's that long, I decided to cut my own foils. At the store, I think the foils were like 10 inches. I don't know if they make them for long hair, but I went ahead and just cut foils. So a roll of foil is 12 inches wide normally. And then I just like cut them in half. And then first I cut the length that I needed, and then I cut them in half. So I'm going to go into that a little bit more, but let me finish going through the list. Okay, so next, I found these little spiral hair ties. And in addition to the clips, these ended up being pretty handy. I thought I was going to return them, but they were helpful. So I'm going to keep that. And then this little extra thing I got was like a whisk to help mix things. And the whisks I have are metal, and also they're too big, but just look how perfect that is. I love things when they fit, and I love minis. So that way, if there's product on it, it doesn't fall out of the bowl, because my other ones, they'll be so long that the weight will be unevenly distributed. Okay, so that is pretty much the bleach checklist. Now, after the bleaching, there's probably going to be some like underlying remaining pigment that's going to be unwanted, like that brassiness. So this is for the toning. So for toning, at first, let me show you what I got first. Because I was just learning on YouTube. So, and a bunch of people were like, oh, do this T18 Wella. And I got this little kit that came with 2 of them and a little bit of like developer. But then as I learned more, I learned that this only works if I can get my hair lightened or lifted to a level 9 or 10 really is ideal. And my hair right now is level 2. So level 1 is like black. So black, it's almost blue. And then level 2 is like the darkest brown black. And I would say this is pretty much where my hair falls. So after I learned that, then I read a little bit about the Redken Shades EQ. So let me show you what I ended up getting. I ended up doing a little test strand, and I'll show you the results of that after I finish this checklist. But this was the test strand. I got my hair to like a 7. So I got this 7P. And then some parts of my hair I got to an 8. So I thought I could mix maybe the 7 and then this 8 GI. And then I was really hopeful. I was like, oh, if I get my hair all the way to an 8, they didn't have an 8P. So I also got the 9P. I figured I could mix 8P and 9P. And the reason I got this was it was in the, had a blue-violet undertones or blue-violet pigment in this. And if my hair is still in that orange yellow, then I would need blue to cancel out the orange, and purple or violet to cancel out the yellows. So that, I just have this little container. This goes in there because I won't need that for just yet. Okay. Then next is the processing solution. So I went ahead and just got this. It goes with it. It's the Shades EQ, Redken Shades EQ Gloss, and it goes with it. Oh, I forgot to show you one thing. In case there's like too much tint in the toner, like you don't need such a heavy deposit, then this is like the crystal clear. So I read that it was better to dilute the toner or the gloss, whatever they're calling it, rather than leave it on for a shorter amount of time. That if I left the full processing time, then the outcome would last longer. So I got that too. All right. And then I would recommend at least like one kind of like applicator bottle. So this one can be used for, like the toner application, or I'm going to maybe use it for the Olaplex treatment. I haven't decided yet, but I did like label it. I've like labeled lots of things. So I think at least one of those is nice, and then optional, but to get like a whole set. So I ended up getting a whole set, and I told you this is the squeeze bottle method. So in order to do that, you're gonna need squeeze bottles. So let me show you what I did to the squeeze bottles. I like labeled them because when I start this process, I'm going to use some in the bowl and put some in this like squeeze bottle, and I want to keep track of what I'm using. So that was also one of the just like nice things about the little brush sets that I got, is that they happen just to be different colors. So it works out really well. So like I have these little plastic containers. If you're gonna do this, you can start saving like random takeout things. So this is gonna be the 30 volume, which is gonna be the length of my hair. And I decided for that one that I'm gonna use the black brushes because that's where the extra wide brush comes in. And that way I don't grab the wrong brush or the wrong bottle. So that's going to be helpful. And then for my roots, then that's going to be the 20 volume. So look, I even have a little matching thing. And then that's all like washi tape. I was in a little craft mode with my like planner a few years ago, and I got all this like washi tape. I think it's really popular in Japan. So I asked my best friend to bring me back some. And then I'm going to use the gray brushes, or the silver gray ones, for that. And that is going to help me keep track of what's what, and not accidentally use 30 volume on my roots. Okay, so I'm just kind of putting things aside for now. And then a couple more applicator bottles. I have one that's just empty. I don't know what I'm going to need it for. One that I'm going to use for toner. And then I think I'm going to put water in this one just in case something happens. Then, like, you know, things go crazy, and then it's just, I feel like I've got bleach somewhere it's not supposed to be. There's going to be clean water in that. So, and then this one was the first one I used because when I was doing, I actually did a trial run to see how the squeeze bottle method would work. And I did the whole trial run with conditioner. So that way it would let me kind of like practice. I went through almost like an entire bottle of conditioner doing this like trial run, and it was super messy, but it helped me to understand how difficult it was going to be to foil and lighten my own hair by myself with only like one set of hands. So that's going to be interesting. And then I would say some type of like bond, let's see, bond builder. They have all these things, but the kind of like the brand name one, right, is Olaplex. So I'll show you this one. I found this, they're hard to find because it's only supposed to be for professionals, but I'm not a licensed cosmetologist. So I just found it somewhere on the internet. Happened to get it on Amazon. I hope it's like the authentic product. But, you know, here we are. This is kind of the world at the moment. I'm in LA, so pretty much, let's see, tomorrow we're entering like a more strict tier of like a lockdown. Okay, so this is the Olaplex Bond Multiplier #1, and that goes in with the bleach and the developer after those two have been mixed. And then this is the Olaplex #2, the Bond Perfector, and that goes in after the processing together, and came with this little kind of like measuring thing. You can't really see it, but it does have things, and on one side is in ounces, and then the other side is in milliliters. So that's really handy. And then let me see if there's anything else on this. Oh, so one night I was up really, really late, and you buy weird things when you're up late at night. But I got this gloss from Target, and I don't know. I was worried that I might be too tired or wouldn't be able to figure out this whole toning thing. And then I was like, well, maybe I'll just gloss it and then figure out, because I wasn't sure of how many rounds of bleach I could take and if I wanted to take it fast or slow. So I'm opting to take it slow. And honestly, I think I only have enough bleach for one full session, because this the squeeze bottle method uses a ton of product. I also got this. These like are these balayage boards. I hope I'm saying that right. Balayage. Anyways, I got them, but these are only helpful if you have an extra set of hands, because, you know, I think you put them in your hair, and then I'm going to open and show you. Right. Like, you like put it and then like kind of like paint, but I don't know. I felt like to do this and then hold like a foil, and then it was, anyways, it was so messy. I think I'm just gonna have to like return that. So that wasn't super helpful. Okay. That is pretty much the bleaching and the toning. And then, I want to show you something. I happen to have this like lying around, but they came in really helpful. This was like from probably an old, home renovation project, right? Painter's tape and like this like, I don't know, it's just some kind of like paper that you put down to protect things. So, but I ended up using that for like writing myself all sorts of little like notes. And I'm just gonna pull one off the mirror here and just show you. I don't think you'll ever read it, but okay. I went ahead and just put all my ratios of important things on here. And I didn't want to be in the middle of this searching, trying to read the like packaging, looking for stuff, probably throwing half the packaging away. Anyway, so this just tells me for the things I bought, what they recommend. So for the Schwarzkopf Blonde Me, it's 1 part bleach to 2 parts developer for 20 to 45 minutes. And it's actually a range of 1 to 1.5 parts to 1 to 2.5 parts, but most people just do 1 to 2 because that's easy to remember and also really easy to calculate. And then for the Olaplex #1 bond multiplier, there was recommendations for the lightener and the foils, which I'm going to be doing 30 volume, and it was 1/8 of an ounce for 30 to 60 grams of lightener, and then 1/16 of an ounce for less than 30 grams of lightener. And you do it based on just like the lightener before you add in developer. And then there was an on scalp also dose, and it was 1/16 of an ounce for 30 to 60 grams of lightener, and then 1/32, 1/32 if it was less than 30 grams of lightener. And then the standard, like a standalone Olaplex that you can do, just like a 1/2 ounce with 3 ounces of water. And I haven't decided if I might do a standalone treatment in the middle of like my processing, or like after I've like bleached it, but like before or after I tone it. So anyways, and then toner to processing solution. This was different when it was Wella. That was like originally like a 1 to 2, but I'm using Shades EQ, which is 1 part gloss to 1 part processing solution. And the processing solution is basically equivalent to a 7 volume. It's 2% hydrogen peroxide. And then I don't know if I'm gonna do Olaplex in that yet because it didn't have the actual instructions on there for a toner, but I put a little question mark, so I decided to do it. Then I'll put 1/16 of an ounce for over 60 grams of toner, and then 1/32 for less than 60. So, and that was like just something, I don't know where I found that, and I wrote it down at some point. And then the #2 bond perfector, that just says to apply generously. So it didn't have like a dosage amount, but it did say that you have to use that in conjunction with the #1. So, okay, that was really helpful. Okay, let me go through some of the pre-care items really quick. So let's see. You probably just have this at home. This is coconut oil, and apparently you're supposed to like put this on your roots, on your scalp, or on your hair. It's supposed to help. I'm not going to put it all over because I think it'll make my hair really hard to work with. I haven't washed my hair now in a few days. So the first thing it said was to like make sure you don't wash your hair like for at least for like a day, but 2 or 3 days preferably. So just to be safe, I waited 4 days. So today's Sunday, and I washed my hair last on Wednesday. I was trying to push for 5 days, but I did this whole trial run with the with the conditioner on, I think it was like Tuesday, and it got so late and I got so tired because it took so much longer than I expected, and it was like way after midnight. So I ended up just like wrapping my hair up in a like hair towel and then just sleeping with the conditioner. I was like, I'll just pretend it's like deep conditioning. And then, so then the next morning, when I did wash it, it was already Wednesday. Okay. And then some type of petroleum jelly, can be like Vaseline, but I love Aquaphor, and I have it like around the house. And this is such like, I think, unnecessary, but this one I got it literally because it has this little like applicator thing. So it's like a touch-free one. And let me show you that bottle. But yeah, this Aquaphor is really great. But I really like it for all sorts of things. But I think they say to put it like maybe like along your hairline and ears and like the back of the neck. It's just to like help protect your skin. So I'm gonna do that. But yeah, I didn't need to get this fancy one, like the applicator, obviously. So, and then there are some things that are helpful for doing like an allergy like patch test and like a test strand. But those things, I would say, I'll show you that. I'll show you that after, actually. Okay, let me finish this. So I'll show you what shampoo I decided to get. I got this Redken Extreme Bleach Recovery, and it said all the things, right? Extreme Bleach Recovery. So I was like, all right, I'll try it. And then I just went ahead and got the whole line. So this was like something called a lamellar treatment. It's just be like a Band-Aid for hair. Try that out. And then this is a Cica cream, which is like a leave-in treatment. So got that. All right. And then I got purple shampoo at first, and this is probably one of these like random scrolling through Instagram. I'm like, oh, well, I don't know anything about this brand. So, but then after like I said, I got this, and I realized when I did the test strand that I probably wasn't gonna get my hair to a 9 or 10 first round. I still was, had this like more like orange than yellow. So the violet was will mostly help out the yellow, but I'm not sure if it'll help out the orange. So I went ahead, did some more research, and went ahead and just got the Fanola. They have a no orange and a no yellow. So the blue shampoo for the orange and this one. So obviously if you just get this, then you're covered for both cases. And then some kind of conditioning mask. I have two here. This one is like this Virago oil deep conditioning mask, because your hair is going to be super dry after all of this, and going to need some TLC. And then I also happen to just get a purple toning mask. Like I said, this, I don't know why I got that. I don't think that's like a necessity. So, and then it's possible at this point, if you got Olaplex 1 and 2, which is hard to get because that's for salon professionals, but you can get like the Olaplex hair repair kit. And there's a holiday kit right now that has 3, 4, 5, and 6, but I opted not to get it. And the big reason is, honestly, once I added up like the price of all the stuff that I bought, it put me like at almost $500. So this is not the cheap way to do to bleach your hair at home. This is the expensive way. But like I said, I love my hair, so I think it's worth it to like treat it nice. Oh, so let me show you something really quick with the foils. I don't know if you can see this, but so this is like one of the foils when I did the test run, and when I had them in my hair, okay, when they were straight like this, right, they're gonna be for the back of the head, which is like the hardest part. I couldn't really get to it. So because I couldn't paint like this and then hold, and that's why I said like those like balayage boards were not super helpful. But let me show you. So I was playing around, and then I realized that maybe I could like start the foil in the back and then have the rest of it sit in front. That way I could like drag it forward, but how was I going to get the foil back there? So I realized, kind of engineered this, I'm a engineer turned life coach, that I could basically fold this at an angle, and then it could kind of like wrap back there like this. So, and then I could work with that. So I kind of like I tried like the 45-degree angle, and that was sometimes a little sharp, and then this half of that, which is roughly like 22 degrees, ended up being really good. So to make that go fast, after I cut the foil in half, I made a template for myself, right? So for 45 and 22, and then after that, then it made the folding pretty easy, because then I would just hold this right up to my template and then fold over like that. So, and then if you're wondering why there's this like extra line in it, I didn't have a good way of knowing where, like, how was I gonna kind of like see where 1 inch was, like from my hairline, especially in the back. I had the mirrors to help, but I thought, oh, a little bit extra guidance would be nice. So I just grabbed this like nail file that I have, because they're almost like the perfect width. They're between, I think, 3/4 of an inch to an inch. And I just held it there and then folded that over. And then that kind of gave me this line. And so for this method, you're going to see I'm going to end up kind of like placing it under. But then when I'm looking in the mirror, I'm going to kind of hopefully just have like a little bit of a guide to go by. Like, hey, that's about 1 inch. So I think that's going to be super, super helpful. Most of the little tutorials have people section their hair into 4 quadrants. So like straight down the middle, and then like ear to ear. So then it was like 1, 2, 3, 4. I have really long hair, and it was really unwieldy. So I decided to do 6 sections, and I'm going to show you my plan. So I just love this diagram. I know my drawing skills are so cute. So this is like the front. So this is going to be section 1 and 2, and then 3 and 4, and then 5 and 6. I'm right-handed, so the most difficult spot for me is going to be like right here, trying to like reach around and do this. So I decided to start there. So that's why I said start at bottom left, the most difficult place for me, to use my best energy on the most difficult part. Because I've seen a lot of videos where people, they start where it's easy, and then by the time they get to the part that's really hard, they're so over it that they kind of just like give up. So I basically kind of did this, like measured my hair for the foils. So this was me trying to like calculate how many foils I would need. And then I have a tape measure, and I literally just, when I went like practiced the sections, I went like this. And then I measured my hair. So let's say at the bottom, there's like, that's like about 16. But then you have to go to the top of that section, and that's like right around here. I don't know, close between 18 and 19. So, and then I figured if I'm doing like the whole folding thing, just to round up. So I'm doing a mix of like 24-inch foils for kind of the parts that are shorter. But then, right, these hairs, that is like 24 inches. So I'm going to throw in like some 28-inch foils. But I kind of just did that calculation. I don't know how many foils, so I just decided to estimate. I actually like did it in reverse. I got like the it was like 85 square feet of foil. You know, and then because it's 12 inches and you can divide that by 2. So 85 times 2 is like 170, you know, like feet, right? And then multiply that by the inches. And at that time I had longer hair. It was like 2.5 feet long. So like up to 30 inches. So my original foils, the long ones, were 30 inches. And it was actually really hard to work with. So I actually did end up cutting my hair, not for that reason, because all the things said, oh, bleach your hair first. And then once you've seen what's happened to your hair, then you can cut based on like maybe like the damage. So I want to talk really quick about doing an allergy test. So I have a little, I might as well show you here. I have this little container here, and I kind of just kept some things in here, but I had this, which is a plastic measure thing, and it's so convenient because this is the tablespoon side and the teaspoon side. And then I also had like a paintbrush from one of these like home renovation projects. So I literally just took this, put in a little bit of the Blonde Me powder, and then I did 30 volume, and I just did it, mixed it all up, and then brushed like a tiny bit on the inside of my elbow, put some like plastic wrap on it, and then hit the timer for an hour. And then I did the same thing on the other side, which was the 20, right? And that was like the allergy test. I think this one like was a little more tingly, the 30 volume, than this one. But when it was all done, it wasn't like red or blistering. So I felt like that way if I accidentally got bleach on me, that yes, I'd still want to get it off, but I wouldn't like panic, go into panic mode. And so show you, I just want to show you some other fun things that I have in here. This is just like these little wipes, you know, you can wipe, like have those on hand to wipe things off. And then I actually decided to make this, because it's a long day, it'll be like self-care as well. So this is a face mask, and this is an eye mask. So I think I'm gonna throw those on and just like have them on while I bleach. This is like, I know it's gonna look creepy, but this is like a little like silicone like cover, and you put it on your face, and it goes over the face mask. It tucks like behind the ears, so I can like just like keep that on. It won't slide off. All right, and then show you one more thing. Okay, so one of the reasons I cut my hair was it felt really unruly, and the ends were kind of dry anyways. So I decided that instead of doing a test strand, which would be more accurate and representative, because then you could see like what was happening, you know, with the hair, but I decided just to cut off the ends. So let me show you what that looks like. All right. And actually, I'm gonna measure one. Curious how much I cut off, right? Okay, so, all right, it goes about here. So just a little bit over like 5 inches of hair. Yeah, so you can imagine my hair like 5 inches longer. I didn't really need that. My hair's still a little long without it. So I did 2 rounds, and same thing. I used this little like shot glass, and I used a tablespoon of bleach for the thicker parts, which were the sections in the back, and then I used a teaspoon for the front parts, which the section in the front was actually like just like, you know, it was like mini mullet. I'm taking a little bit of hair. So I did this for an hour, the first round, and as you can see, I used blue hair bands, rubber bands for the right side, and then I used these like beige rubber bands for the left side, just so I could keep track. I labeled everything, and then I wrote everything down. So that day, I actually had the timer set for every 10 minutes, like they said, to check on my hair. And I did, for the thicker ones, I want to say I used 30 volume. I have it in my notes somewhere. And then I did like 20 volume on the little ones. And so kind of explain my reasoning there, but I did the first round. Oh, the reason the side's also a little darker is I've like toned those. So let's look at the left side first. So when I first did it, I got my hair, I would say like a 7.5 to about an 8.5. And then I did a second round, and I would say I think I only got it up to like maybe 8.5. And then this one, you know, like looks like kind of yellow, so like a 9 maybe. So from the first bleach session, it was pretty much one level of lift for every 10 minutes. So I started at a level 10, right? I mean, level 2. So after 10 minutes, I was like a 3. After the 20 minutes, it was like a 4. 30 minutes, it was a 5. 40 minutes, 6. 50 minutes, 7. And then between 50 minutes to that hour, nothing much happened. Like I said, maybe went up to like the 7.5. And it was roughly, and it kind of makes sense because that's like when they say like the bleach kind of doesn't start, like it's kind of stops working, you know. So once you mix it, you gotta like put it on and kind of get moving. And then I also kind of want to use these like smaller strands. I was kind of trying to simulate my roots with them. So I actually like kind of used like my hair dryer, but I had it on like the low warm setting with the diffuser on, and kind of like from far away. And I had a towel over. Well, first I put down foil, put down the hair, then covered it with some plastic wrap, and then put the towel on it, just like I would probably do here. So, oh, I actually have like a hair towel. Let me show you. I have a couple of these like hair towels, but I'm gonna designate this one as like the bleaching one. So they're kind of nice because they're a little bit more absorbent, and this one has like a little like button. So when I put my hair in a turban, it'll go really quick. So, okay, but back to this, like test strands. So when I did that, that's when I realized after one session, I wasn't going to get my hair to a level 9 or 10. So there was no way I was going to be able to use the T18. And then after the second bleach session, they really only went up maybe like one more level. And that wasn't enough to still really warrant like the T18. I still don't think, like that's like really blonde enough for that. So, and because there was such a little difference between the two, I decided to only do one bleach session for now, and then do another bleach session when I touch up my roots in like a month. Didn't seem worth it for me to push my hair so hard for such like a small incremental result. And then maybe in a month after I do like the root touch up, I'll try like a bleach wash for the rest of the hair. But I have to really research that. I don't know that much about the bleach washing yet. Okay, so now I'm going to talk about the toning. So I have I kind of decided to treat this like an 8. And so I mixed the 7P and the 9P, half and half. And then I figured that would give me like an 8P. And then, which is like the pearl. And because that's got like a black gray like background, it's going to be like a little bit dark, and I wanted to warm it up. So that's why I put in some 8GI. So I think ratios wise, it was 0.5, 0.5, and 1. So 0.5 of 7P, 0.5, 9P, and then 1 of this. And then I felt like it was a little too warm for like my complexion or whatever I was going for. So it's kind of what it looks like. And it kind of darkened it maybe too much and had a little too much of the kind of like that red in it. So I decided to go back the next time, and then instead of using, because that's almost like a 1-to-1 ratio, I decided to go with like a 3-to-1 ratio. Oh, and then I ended up using this little like dropper and put it in here because I had the washi tape. I like kind of like marked off like a little point, and then that way I was just getting like the smallest amounts of toner because you don't need that much, right? So this one is like a 3-to-1 ratio of the P and the GI. And then as you can see, and then I also had it with some of the clear. So it had like kind of this like a little bit of a dilution to it. So the dye wasn't as intense. I think part of the reason this also got so dark is I processed them back to back, right? Obviously like no Olaplex. And these are the ends of my hair, which are like more porous than the rest of my hair. I'm going to anticipate that's going to be a little bit of a more difficult lift, and that the toner dye is going to have, or chin is going to have a harder time. You know, because look at that difference between those two, right? And then do this one more side by side. Yeah, see the difference? So, all right, that is a little bit of, let me recap on what happened from the test strand and then the allergy test. And, oh, one more really quick little thing. Okay, so I'm not going to pull it up because I taped it down, but I actually like wrote out my schedule for the day to kind of help me get through the day. And so, because it's going to be such a long day. So just like an example, it says 8 to 9, morning routine, wake up, make bed, get some bone broth, wash my face, brush my teeth, meditate. And then 9 to 11, which we're in that window right now, to like work out. And then it's 2 hours because I also built in some buffer time to clean, to finish prepping, to relax. I need to finish like cutting foils. I need to cut like a dozen more lengths and then cut that in half. And that'll give me the, then I can have, yeah, like, so that's like 24 more strips. And then I kind of have to finish the fold. So, and then I have 11 to 12 is going to be like lunch. And then I schedule each section for an hour and a half. And I just want to do like, I think one at a time. It really took me a really long time, but I want to be thorough. I want it to look kind of nice. And then, so I'm going to show you all of that, but I'm going to go ahead and do that little like workout, finish like doing all these foils, and then I'll hop back on. But that was pretty much like a checklist and like prep list. And I'm going to show you like one more thing that I did to help myself. It's probably going to be hard to read, but I did like kind of the calculations and like all the math because I didn't want to run out of product. It's not like easy to go to a store and get the stuff. I had to order everything like online through Amazon. It took me a few weeks to get everything. So I basically am going to end up using that entire container of bleach for my hair. I basically like calculated out, you know, section 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, how many grams of like lightener, how much Olaplex, and then like how much developer, and then, you know, I had the calculations for like the 30 volume and then the 20 volume. So there was obviously a little bit different ratio for like the scalp, or, you know, I'm using a little bit different volume there of developer. Anyway, so I did it, and I'm glad I did, because the ratios that I had in mind, if I had followed them along, I would not have, I think I might have only gone through half my hair. And so I kind of like redid it. And I mean, I may not end up using as much as this, but when I did like the little like conditioner run, it wastes, quote, wastes like more product, but I think it lets me get to my hair more, the application is more even. All right. Okay. I have all these like sheets taped up to like the mirror for like quick reference. And so hopefully I'll just now be on autopilot for the rest of the day. I'll be back, let's see, in just like a little bit over an hour. Thanks.